Hello and welcome back. EATV, here again with Sarah.
Hello.
EATV. It sounds like I have my own TV channel.
You kind of do. It's so hot. It's really hot.
California, baby. Alright, so today we are going to be doing a Q&A. Sarah asked all of you to send in questions just about life. General life things. And we are going to answer some of them. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, we'll start easy. Someone asked, what meal do you eat most often? What would you say?
Probably for me, it's just tofu, pan-fried with some sort of sauce, teriyaki sauce, some rice, and some broccoli, microwaved frozen broccoli. Simple.
I think for me, it's like, the way I cook is usually just, I'll take some kind of protein, whether it's seitan or tofu or beans or some fake meat made by like Gardein or something. Mm-hmm. Some kind of protein, some kind of carb, rice, usually pasta, sweet potatoes, mm-hmm. white potatoes, and then something green to be healthy. Yeah. And then it'll either be like soy sauce and sesame oil or Mexican-y flavored, mm-hmm. just anything like that, and then spiced differently. So there are unlimited combinations.
Pretty much. I have like a couple staple things I'll put in, and then I'll just mix up the flavorings with these different seasonings or sauces, spice blends.
Are you the sauce boss?
It's so hot.
You're welcome for answering that question. Alright, next question. Someone asked, weightlifting advice for beginners, question mark? Not really a question, but we'll still answer it.
Weightlifting advice for beginners. I personally learned a lot about different movements, lifting weights online first. Bodybuilding.com is a really great resource, or YouTube videos. Lots of people are making fitness videos nowadays. Full workouts that I would just copy their movements. There's a lot of apps, phone apps as well, that will show you pictures or video of how to do certain movements. If you bring that, I would recommend having a plan if you're going to be going into a gym, especially if it's your first time being in a gym, because it can get a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, I think you and I had very different experiences, because I started, I guess, technically lifting weights when I was like 14 in my room, but I would just put on like 10 pounds and do bicep curls because I thought that was the only thing that was important. And then I guess going to school and like being in gym class, the gym instructors would show me more stuff. And then once I realized I could look stuff up on YouTube was huge for me getting huge. So yeah, like you said, seeing movements and reading about what's important. And I feel like in the last few months, this is like the first year of my life that I ever feel like I'm actually weightlifting the right way and doing stuff that's benefiting me instead of just trying to like look good. And I learned that like lower body is actually important, which I never knew until this year. And then I started training my legs and I was like, wow. For the first time I feel stronger. Sort
of the opposite for women as well, I think. Especially on YouTube. A lot of women will do booty workouts, leg workouts, and just avoid upper body altogether. And that's what I did for the first couple of months of working out. I want to say I also started working out in my bedroom with 2 8-pound dumbbells before I felt comfortable enough to get a gym membership. I think the important thing is that as long as you're sort of having fun and not injuring yourself, everything's pretty good. Yeah. Everything's okay. Anything goes.
I think my general advice would be work out everything. Work out all of your muscles. Work out consistently. Don't forget about cardio. Even if you're not overweight, you still need good cardiovascular strength. I think the most important weightlifting workouts would be the 5x5 workouts.
Yeah, I definitely wish that I had started doing the compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench press, overhead press, rows, pull-ups too. Sooner, I was doing a lot of isolation work, just like machine dumbbell work. And I think once I switched over to the compound movements, I made a lot more progress much faster.
Yeah. And that's when I switched over, that's when I actually started feeling strong for the first time. And actually being strong, being able to lift things in daily life and be like, wow, I couldn't move that, 2 months ago. Now I can.
Yeah.
And I think my other advice would just be confident. Depends on the kind of person you are. I know for me as an adult, it was super easy for me to start going to a gym and like putting on my headphones and being like, oh, I don't give a shit if people are looking at me. I don't care if I'm not lifting a lot of weight. Like, whatever. These people don't matter to me. But I know probably the majority of people are the opposite of me, and it's really hard to go into a gym and see all these huge, sweaty people. It can be very intimidating.
Last thing, make sure you're eating enough. I know that when I started working out, I really wanted to change my body, and I definitely don't think I was eating enough, and I could have made a lot more progress sooner if I had been. I don't think you necessarily need to track your macros or your even calories, but just make sure that you are eating enough to replenish that energy that you're expending.
Don't be hungry. Just keep eating.
Listen to your body.
Yep. Hope that helps.
I don't know the answer to this one. Someone asked us if you could time travel, when would you go? If you could time travel, when would you go to?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked us if you could time travel, when would you go to and why? What do you think?
Oh, it's my turn to go first now.
Yeah.
I feel like the Eric that lives now, just the way the world works since I've been alive, I feel like I would love to go back to caveman times.
Really?
Where we're living outside, like hunting for ourselves and gathering to stay alive.
Temporarily or forever. Are we going back temporarily? Yeah. Are we going back and being active? Or are we just observing people? Are we, I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of changes things. Mm-hmm. If it's permanent, that's my answer.
I do think about that a lot, about going back to when things were simpler. I'd probably go to the future, actually. I'm not sure how far into the future, but you know what scares me, though, is just being in the past and not having access to medical care, mostly.
Yeah.
That freaks me out. If we're talking permanently, I would stay here.
That's not the question.
I know. Then I would time travel to tomorrow. No, maybe to like Christmas.
Finding loopholes. Sarah Sullivan. Cut that out. You're an idiot. You're an idiot, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you at least pretend to laugh at my jokes?
You're so funny.
Great. All right, next question. Someone asked, how do you deal with maintaining health while suffering from depression and anxiety? They wrote, sometimes it's hard to manage physical and mental health. Mm-hmm. I know for me, because I don't get super long bouts of mental health weirdness, negativity. I don't want to say depression, because I don't suffer from depression, but I definitely have a lot of anxiety, and sometimes it clouds a longer span of my life. I think for me, getting up and going out for a run or lifting, just going out and doing it at all makes me feel better, but it's hard to go do it.
I also agree. I think that anytime I have felt very depressed, and for me it does tend to span months at a time, sort of forcing myself to take care of my body. I see pretty quick feedback from that, eating cleaner and doing a little bit of exercise. And exercise doesn't have to even mean working out strenuously or even running. Just going for a walk around the block sometimes is enough. I know it's really hard sometimes to get out of bed when you're depressed, though. And it's hard to do the things that, even if you typically love working out and cooking healthy, and that's something that typically excites you, sometimes there's no joy in that when you're depressed. It's a hard question.
Like I said, I think the act of doing anything in itself helps me out. You know, when you get up and walk or run, I don't know, even if you stay in the house and do some push-ups, you're still feeding your brain chemicals that by nature make you feel even a tiny bit better.
Staying busy is pretty important. I would say that with both depression and anxiety, sometimes things feel very overwhelming, and sometimes that overwhelmment is what keeps you from getting out of bed in the morning, because it's just easier to be safe. And for me, establishing a routine is also very important, like a morning routine, and it could look different for everyone. So for me, I do like to wake up early. When I'm feeling pretty depressed, wake up early. Even if it's before work, like make time for it, because it will really set the tone of your day, like what you do within that first half hour, 30 minutes. I do think that sometimes when you're feeling down, working out first can be uplifting, like the first thing, because it's just something that you can feel good about early on in your day. Yeah, like I said, it sets the tone for the rest of your day.
Definitely if you've been in a place where you don't want to work out, I think being healthy with exercise and food and all those things, you'll probably see some sort of physical change in your body. At least for me, even if I don't need it, even if I feel like I look all right and like I don't need to be like, I don't have any physical goals at that time, I'll still be like, oh wow, well, I look a little better, and I think that'll help you feel a little better. You see some sort of change.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know that. People think, serotonin is associated with, better mood, and they think it's just all produced in your brain, and a majority of it actually is produced in your gut by your gut bacteria. So regulating your gut health is very important.
I didn't know
Diet
that.
will help you. No, you didn't? Yeah, so your gut bacteria really thrives on high fiber foods. That's why I think a lot of people who do adopt any kind of vegan lifestyle is going to have more fiber usually than a standard American diet, but especially a healthier, more whole foods based vegan lifestyle. For me, I saw drastic improvement in my mood very quickly, like within the first month or so.
Eat your vegetables, bottom line.
Eat your vegetables. What's your favorite recipe of mine?
Someone asked, what's your favorite recipe of Sarah's? My favorite recipe of Sarah's is when she goes out and gets Taco Bell and brings it home. Yeah.
Pushing, sliding around.
I don't really use recipes, but I have taken a lot of tips from Sarah's videos and applied techniques and stuff to my own cooking. So like, first time I saw you use those baking mats, the nonstick baking mats, I went on Amazon immediately and ordered 2 of them.
Those are awesome. Yeah, I also don't really use recipes, but I do draw a lot of inspiration from other people's food videos, I guess. Or just even photos, or I'll go to a restaurant and get a lot of inspiration from a dish there.
Oh, recently I can say that when you did your video about all the spices and sauces and stuff you use all the time, I went out and bought a big thing of curry paste and full-fat coconut milk, and I made rice and I think seitan and a bunch of vegetables, and I just simmered it in that sauce. And everyone I live with was walking, oh my god, what are you making? And I was like, I don't know why I've never thought to make curry like this.
It's amazing.
And it's literally, I haven't made it in months because I burned myself out eating it every day for like 2 weeks straight. So thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. You're like, yes, I invented curry. Bow to me. Okay, last question. If you could eat any one meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
With no, like, negative effect on my body?
Yes.
Something with French fries. Maybe a vegan burger with a lot of mayo and a lot of cheese.
Have you had a vegan burger that you would choose?
Maybe a Beyond Burger with just everything on it.
Yeah.
Grilled onions, tomato.
I think mine would be a burrito, rice, beans, guac, maybe sofritas if it's from Chipotle or Chipotle, as my grandma calls it. Alright, so that was our first attempt at a Q&A. We'll probably do more in the future, maybe in a longer form fashion with more extensive answers to deeper questions. Thanks for your questions and thanks for watching. EATV signing off.